Okay, for obvious reasons, my mind's sort of been on the idea of argument today and how you have one, and whether it's any point in arguing, in debating, in expressing an opinion, in attempting to persuade, or is it all just futile? We should just do a monkey dance and see if we can make each other laugh a little and say, gee, yeah, I'm going to watch some more of that because, it's kind of a funny channel. Is there more? And is there any way to do it? I mean, I've been arguing on the internet since, it's, 15 years, whatever, since I got a computer. You learn some things, you see the cycles, you see patterns in what takes place, and there's always been this recurring pattern that when you win an argument, that's the last thing you want to do, because they'll go after you, they'll get you, and they won't get you in any honest way. The attack just gets personal, and you can see it even on the message board that we really shouldn't even be talking about, because everybody will think they have a right to go harass it. That local message board, referenced in other videos. People will, their argument is just graffiti. I mean, they find some technique, and the technique here on YouTube is there's a ton of these people with the one sentence, the two sentences. It's just to make you look stupid, just to make you look something, put you on the defensive. Your nose is too big, you look like an asshole, you're ugly as this, whatever. I mean, just completely pointless. I mean, just so inane. And yet you look at it and it does affect you. It does have an impact. It distracts the argument. It's like if somebody's performing and you start saying, well, look at his kneecaps, or look at this, or or like it's a magician, and you start speculating as to how he's doing the magic, and you get people distracted, and so you just break the whole chain, the whole sequence, the whole idea, the flow. And that's all these people do, is interrupt that flow. They don't make an argument, they just distort the perception. They just take an edge off it. They just ugly it up, or they make it pretty, or they do. I mean, it's just intended to distort perception. It's not intended to be an argument. And the same thing. People then say something. Another style of argument is the thing ad hominem. And it's almost ad hominem to accuse somebody of ad hominem. It's just this insane cycle of nonsense. And where does that go? Because it's, these distinctions are so vacuous. There's just nothing. And so, we have whatever, Aristotle's rules of logic, and we have but it's like, that's not gonna, there's no point, because people don't live in that world. I mean, you would think conceptually we'd all understand what a fair fight should be, how we should have an argument. We can watch a boxing match and say, yeah, there's certain things you can't do, okay? There's rules to the fight. And but then we watch Mike Tyson bite somebody's ear off, and it's just, maybe that's just, we can't do it. Maybe we just can't get past the bullshit. And so that does sort of defeat the point, because it's already hard enough to convey all the intricacies of knowledge or wisdom or perception. We know things, and then we try to convey that knowing to another person. But to do that, you have to provide all the ingredients sometimes. Some people only need 2 of the ingredients because they have the rest already. But other people are going to need 500,000 ingredients because they don't even come close to having it. They don't have the flour and the sugar and so you got to give them the whole story to get them there. And so, in this environment where we're not having a conversation one-to-one, you know, it's 1 to however many the number is. You know, every argument is in that context of, yes, some people are going to know exactly what you're saying, some people are going to get it completely wrong, going to completely misunderstand, and other people might know better, and so they'll have a counter argument, and they might have some better facts, some better ingredients. But it's just this atmosphere, though, of all this. There's just no rules. There's just no way to get through this without everything somehow turning into shit. I'm not saying everything, because, like I said, I have learned these different little techniques that do make it more. That makes it easier to avoid the bullshit. And so, like, if you notice my comments, I often quote people. You know, I'll extract their exact text, and I'll argue that piece of text. Because to me, that's how you fight a fair fight. Let's deal with the reality, not the straw, not the bullshit, you know, not the accusation, not the distraction, not the perversion, not the manipulation, you know, not the out of context. You know, you try to keep it in context, try to keep it direct, because you really are trying to argue the facts. You're really trying to get somewhere. You know, you're not just arguing for the sake of argument. And so anyway, you know, there's been a video by the idiot. I don't think I'll bother linking to it. Good, plenty of time. You know, where there's this whole attitude out there that YouTube is not intended to do anything but be entertainment. There's absolutely no point in expressing opinions on YouTube. It's just such a preposterous attitude. This is a perfect medium for argument. This is a perfect medium to accomplish persuasion. Because yes, if you apply some art and some technique, you can add so much. You can add imagery and sound and narration and argument and words. I mean, you can throw it all in there. You can make something that is powerfully, if not convincing, just powerful as a message. You can compose a strong and powerful message. And yeah, a lot of my videos haven't done that. I'm getting there. I'm moving in that direction. It's the time thing, you know. You always got to find the time. I mean, and I have gotten sucked into this. I mean, my life, I'm compromising parts of my life because I'm thinking YouTube, and that's really, you know, I got to start disciplining that. But I want to spend more time because I want to make something more perfect, something better. But this is a perfect medium. If there's any chance of human beings being able to talk to each other and argue things through and come to resolution and find the mediums, the happy mediums between the compromises, this is the place, this is the way to do it, in my opinion. It's like I said, it's a perfect instrument for that. Because you can combine it all. I mean, I can put 5,000 words of text with every video. I can do, you know, I can create as much or as little as I want. I can add as much ingredients, and, you know, I can do all that. And as long as the idiots don't get in the way, it's going to work. It will work. If people are at least honest in how they approach this, it will work. But if we all just say that everybody's equal, everything is equal out there, and nobody has to take any responsibility for what they do, well, that's bullshit. Because like I said, today a guy's argument technique was to post my name. That's the argument technique. And, you know, what's the point? You can't argue with that. Yes, whatever, okay. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it means. I can't interpret it as anything but just, yeah, okay, boy, you kicked me in the nuts. Thank you. You know. What? Well, it's nothing. It's zero. And but anyway, I mean, I'm optimistic, and maybe I'm foolish to be so. But I'll see. You know, I've only been doing this for 3 months. I mean, I'm going to have to take a while for me to get really discouraged. So, because I hear messages out there, I see it, and to me it works, because I've been changed. I've been moved by what people have said, what they've produced, the product they have created. So to me it works.